Hello everyone, welcome to the Callos edition, or the Ultra Greatsword edition if you prefer, version of the Demon Prince boss fight. So this was done in post-commentary because I wanted to cool down a little bit. I had to record this while everybody was asleep, so, that as well. Or while everybody was waking up, I'm sorry. I didn't think you wanted to hear a bunch of creaks of the ceiling above me, so that's the reason. So in this version, I elected to go with the partner because, last time it made things a hell of a lot more bearable and more fun, so that's what I elected to do. I know I'm not that good anyway, so I'm not going to try and prove how good I am. That and the fact that with the Ultra Greatsword, it didn't really seem like a good idea to try and do it by myself, considering I had enough problems trying to figure out when to swing with the regular longsword. The advantages of the Ultra Greatsword is it is a very long range, so you don't have to get right all up in his butt crack to actually hit him. You can actually swing from a little bit of a distance. Of course, the con is it's kind of hard to know when you should actually swing, unless you want to do the rolling attack, which in all honesty doesn't really do all that much damage. But the key with Ultra Greatsword in this fight is roll through his attacks. It's scary, but it's not all that bad, because you can actually get a chance to hit him and, go to town, especially when he does his big, I'm going to unload a fireball on you. So, yeah. It's, same fight, a little bit different tactics, because you're the different weapon that you're using. I've also done this fight on Veronica, on my mage. So, if you guys would like to tell me which character you want to see me go through the rest of the DLC with, I will try and do so. Just, if you say the Ultra Greatsword, I pray that you're not trying to do this to try and get me killed, because it's so much easier on the longsword than it is the Ultra Greatsword. People say that, the strength weapons are OP in Dark Souls 3. Yeah, if you know when to swing, they're great. They do a lot of damage. But, when you're trying to learn a fight, they're pretty much the worst weapon in the world to use. I mean, I can't tell if I'm the one out... I think I'm out damaging that guy just because I am being a little bit more aggressive than he is. That and the fact that, he's probably trying to not die, which as a summon, your whole thing is don't die and try not to let the host die. And I gotta say, he's doing a really good job of it so far. I don't think he's taken a single hit yet. So kudos for that one. But the real fight starts in the second phase. I think he actually did beat me in the damage race here. Yeah, he did, just by a little bit. Gotta have a little bit of competition in your life, man. That's the way it goes. So he's down. I didn't lose by that much. The music is extraordinarily loud, so I might have to lower my volume because I'm having to speak while... It's like when you're listening to loud music and you're talking to somebody, you end up talking really loud inadvertently. Yeah, that's why I'm probably talking so loud into your ear right now. But since I've since co-opted this boss, I'd say a good 50-60 times. So I think now I could probably do this by myself. This is like my, fifth? I think this was my fourth time trying this boss, so I still wasn't really confident. So that's another reason why I summoned. But I'm pretty sure I could do it solo now. I did do it solo with Veronica after this recording, so, that's as a mage. Contrary to what you probably believe, magic doesn't really do a whole crap load on this thing. And that thing has a potential of one-shotting you, that big laser. So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. So if you see him do the big shockwave that pushes you back, you have two choices. Either back up as far as humanly possible, or try and sprint towards him. It's iffy on deciding what you do. It's a judgment call in every situation, because if you try and get near him and you're not fast enough or you're not close enough, you're liable to just get hit with a laser right in the face, and it one-shots me from 27 vigor full health. That's as a summon, granted, so I had 30% less health. But I've seen a lot of hosts get one-shot by that thing. I'm assuming they had more health, more vigor than I do, so... Yeah, that's something to keep in mind in the old noggin, to be a little careful with. Now, as for the specifics on this second phase with an Ultra Greatsword, I mean, it's the same thing as always. You got to be a little more selective when you actually swing. But as a general tip for the hosts out there that do summon, keep in mind your primary goal is not to actually do damage. Your primary goal is don't die. throw in damage where you can, don't get me wrong here. But your main thing is just don't die. So he's getting ready to do the laser. As an Ultra Greatsword user, this is your utopia. You want to maximize as much damage as humanly possible. And you do get to do quite a bit of damage. I'm only doing 220 a swing. Also, after the laser, he does do a bit of a shockwave, but it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage if you're behind him. I don't know if it does more in front of him, because I don't sit in front of him with the laser coming out. But yeah, I actually really enjoy this fight with an Ultra Greatsword, because once you get used to the way he moves, as you saw right there, I actually didn't get hit by that for once. Since I'd learned his basic moveset, it's a lot easier, but if I tried to do this the first time with an Ultra Greatsword, I would have lost my crap even more than I already did. This is just two Ultra Greatsword guys just beating the crap out of this thing, and I love it every second of it. Actually, I can't tell if that's an Ultra Greatsword or a Greatsword that guy is using, but thank you very much. I can't read your name because the screen's too small, but I owe you a debt of gratitude because that would have been much more difficult without you. I think it's just a bunch of numbers. But yeah, that is the Demon Prince with an Ultra Greatsword. Now I can actually, my ears aren't being blared out. I can actually talk normal volume now. So bottom lines and see, like, the wrap up of that is you can't swing as often. Obviously, this is a given with Ultra Greatswords, and it makes a lot more reliance on rolling through his attack so you can get that one attack in. Because if you try and go backwards and try and get in hits otherwise, you're not ever going to have time to really get a strike in. So that's something to think about. It's definitely more of an advanced weapon in this fight, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But you can also try the roll attack, but it doesn't do much damage. So yeah, there's that. So, I guess that's going to be it for this edition. So again, please tell me if you have any suggestions on which one you'd like to see, and thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully I shall see you next time. Farewell, everyone. Until then.